Welcome to Backseat Confessions Podcast. Slide into the backseat as we listen to mostly anonymous strangers tell us stories from their lives. I'm a rideshare driver in Atlanta, and the people getting in my car have absolutely no idea I'm going to ask them to share. My commitment to you is to tell at least a snippet of virtually every story recorded in my car in the order they were told to me. My hope is that you laugh, cringe, cry, but mostly connect to these amazing people. You may find a piece of your own story, or just feel more connected to the rest of us. Join us, won't you? So, hey, my new friend. This is an adult podcast. Themes and languages are definitely not suitable for everyone. Listener discretion is advised. Thank you so much for coming back to hang out for our third ride this season. It truly means more to me than I can communicate. And if you get a chance, I'd love an email, or you can DM my Instagram and just let me know what you like about the show, what you don't like about the show, and also like what your favorite story is, whether it's this season or the previous one. It really helps me to know what and how this show is connecting to you. Okay, let's hit the road, Jack. Our first rider today has a story of his quite complex love life. This man's love life has more twists and turns in it than most of us would probably like, but at least it's not boring.
Story number 93. Monday, December 28, 2020, 9:31 p.m.
Okay.
So I was married at one point.
Yes, sir.
And got divorced.
Been there.
And, started a long distance relationship with a woman in France.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, that was going great. And then, obviously long distance relationships are hard. So,
They are.
Stumbled upon a new lover that so happened to live right around the corner from me. And it turned out that she was in a relationship with somebody who was no longer having sex with her.
Oh, wow.
And it was something that she needed, and she made that known. She communicated that, and she was like, look, if you don't have sex with me, then I'm going to go get it where I need it. And he's like, okay, look, I understand, that's fine. I want to be with you. I love you.
Yeah.
I just don't want to know about it if you got to do that. So she's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Then she met me.
Right.
So me and her do our thing. Eventually, obviously, I have to tell my French girlfriend that I'm dating someone around the corner.
Yeah.
But, I've made it known previously that I'm polyamorous to all parties.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a problem.
Okay. Yep.
So eventually I did. And French girlfriend was totally accepting. They ended up talking, loving each other.
Wow.
We're doing the long distance thing together.
Okay.
Wow. And
so the girl around the corner gets involved with the French girl long distance.
Yes.
Via telephone or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
That's cool.
Yes. So, great time. I'm like, oh shit, I live my best life, right?
Right.
And, French girlfriend goes on vacation to the south of France, back to her hometown, and tells her friends about her illustrious life with this American man and American woman. And of course, they're like, he's playing you. The fuck? Like, he's playing you. Like, he can't get what he wants from you, so he's getting it around the corner, and you're just, just like the extras.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously that crumbled. But it was whatever. I'm cool. Like, right, I got to go from around the corner.
Yeah.
And so we kept going with that. And eventually she breaks it off with her ex-boyfriend, who no longer would have sex with her.
Right.
To be with me.
There you go.
Time passes, a holiday comes, and she invites me to her illustrious cabin next door to her other illustrious cabin.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she's got some real estate.
Yeah,
I like this.
well, not her, but her family. Like,
okay, yeah.
I'm just trying to get in the will.
Right, for sure.
I need an inheritance.
That's right.
But she's like, oh, yo, yeah. She invites me up, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'll come for a day, because I gotta work and shit. I'll come for a day.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, cool. So I go up there. We sleep together, have a good time. Next day, I'm supposed to leave, but I'm having so much fun. And there's so much just like money around me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck it, I'm staying. Like, there's no telling what the fuck will happen if I just fucking stay,
Right.
So I stay, and next thing you know, her ex-boyfriend shows up.
No.
Mind you, at the time, I don't know that it's her ex-boyfriend.
Because you've never seen this dude.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh.
Never seen this guy. So he shows up, and I'm like, yo, what's up? Because, mind you, we're the only two black guys where we're at for miles, probably.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm like, yo, try to give him the old handshake, and he's not having it.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, okay. Again, I don't know who you are. That was kind of weird, but whatever. I'm going to let it slide. I'm drunk. I'm high. I ain't got time.
Right.
So, the next day I have 5 beers, and I remember jumping off the back of a boat.
Nice.
And realizing that, I'm probably too drunk to be swimming right now.
Oh, not nice.
And swimming back towards the boat. I don't remember getting back on it. I remember redocking and playing like a little board game with her brother and her brother's girlfriend. And then after that, I remember waking up to her telling me I gotta get the fuck out.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm like, what? Like, what happened? What's going on? Apparently, I was found in a puddle of my own piss, butt naked, upstairs. And this is after I had broken an antique, broken my glasses, lost my phone in the lake, lost my shoes.
Wait, what?
Yeah. 5 beers, mind you.
Uh-huh. Sure. Yeah.
I need to add, I'm an alcoholic. And, this woman had seen me put down a 30-pack of PBR with no issue, no problem.
Right.
And her excuse was, yeah, no, you just got wasted last night.
Oh, wow. So you're thinking the boyfriend slipped you a little something extra.
I had video at one point. The boyfriend did slip me something.
Oh, dude, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Long story short, I had to hitchhike my way back from Helen, Georgia to Atlanta.
You had to go from Helen back?
Yeah, from Helen to Atlanta, and then ended up in the hospital telling the nurses the same story that they did not believe. They were like, "Are you sure you're not high?" And I'm like, "Check my blood." They found nothing because roofies is a hell of a drug.
It is. That's the headline to that one.
Yeah,
Roofies is a hell of a drug.
Roofies is a hell of a drug.
Bro. Well, hey, you survived and you have your sense of humor intact.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank you so much for the story, my man.
Thank you, man.
From polyamorous love triangles to roofies, this guy has a lot going on. I hate that he got drugged, though. That is such a violation of someone's sense of agency. And to top it off, the neighbor lady he had been seeing doesn't believe him, so he's left with just looking a little crazy. That is no bueno. As it happens, this next story also has some interesting relationship dynamics at play. The lovely lady telling the story is sitting next to her new flame, and he seems to be totally cool with her sharing the story, but there are just some things about the story Or maybe it's the way she tells it that are odd?
Story number 94. Monday, December 28, 2020, 10:16 p.m.
Okay, so I met someone organically about a month ago.
Okay, so not on a website.
Not on a website, not on Tinder, not on Hinge, not on any of those dating sites.
Okay.
And so this person, I was at a park and I wasn't trying to meet the person or anything like that. And I just asked for help. And immediately when they approached me, they were like, "Oh, I really like you."
Wait, so hold on. You asked for help. Let's.
I asked for help because I was on a bike and I couldn't adjust my bike. And so I was looking for anyone to help me at the moment. And so they just happened to be there.
Okay.
And when they approached me, they were like, "Oh," when he approached me, he was like, "I really like what I see."
Nice.
And
nice.
I just want to let you know I'm not gay. And
what an opening line. Okay.
That was the opening line.
Okay.
I didn't think anything about it at the moment, but he was very attractive. He was redhead and blue eyes.
Nice.
Very attractive.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you can have my Instagram and, we'll talk at a later time. And he was like, okay, absolutely. So we exchanged that. And I didn't think anything about it. Just went without, went on my day.
Right.
By the way, this is a little weird because I have someone that I really, really like next to me at the moment. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry, Marcia.
So yes. Anyway, I just went with on my day, and later on, I messaged him, and I was like, "Hey, it's me," and he met, blah blah blah, and then he was like, "Hey, yeah, sorry, I'm so direct. I really liked what I see."
Yeah.
Talking about me,
right?
And we finally made a date, and we saw each other at Piedmont Park, and stop. So, I honestly, that day when I saw him, I didn't really think anything about it.
Right.
And I really wasn't even that into him. I was like, oh, whatever, I was like, okay. But after that, a little time went by, and I actually started to think a lot about him. A lot, actually.
Okay.
And so we went out again, and it became more serious, and then we became intimate, and
was the sexual chemistry good as well as just the personal, the friendship side?
That's actually what occurred as we actually became intimate, and the whole thing changed. And we became intimate, and he, like, something occurred where it was psychological, it was intimate, it was everything. And at the beginning, he was more into me, and I wasn't. And then it like switched. It switched.
Okay.
And then it was me. And it seemed like the whole thing changed, and that's what it was, and that's how it changed. And
And then what happened?
And then where'd it go?
Something really weird happened. We were having sex one of the very last times, and he said that he wanted to have sex with me and another guy.
Oh, he wanted to do like a threesome.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he wanted to have sex with me and another female.
Okay.
And then I said, well, which out of the two do you prefer? And he said, well, you and another. And he said, you and another guy. He's like, I don't really care about you and another female, but just you and another guy. It's just more of a fantasy thing. And I was like, well, are you gay?
Right.
He's like, no, I'm not gay. I just want you and another guy. It's just a fantasy thing. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then we got into a fight the following week, and then we haven't seen each other since. And I don't know if he's gay or not.
Oh yeah, gosh. Okay.
That's it.
That's it. Wow, what an amazing story. And now you're with us.
Yeah. Now so I went on a date with her before she met this guy.
Okay.
And
I need to
chemistry.
and I have to have your
Instant
permission.
chemistry.
It's tough to make out why the handsome redhead announced that he wasn't gay up front, or if his wanting to add another guy into the bedroom made her feel like he was gay, and that possibly is what caused the fight. But anyways, that was her story, and it is interesting to say the least. Also, the rest of the time our lady here and her date were in the car, they talked about how hot they were and how into each other they were. I want to wish them all the best in their mutual hotness. This next gentleman said he had recently moved from the south side of Chicago, and overall, he was really loving Georgia and Atlanta specifically. He talked about how great the weather is here, how much he enjoyed Centennial Park and all that good stuff. But the only downside is he wasn't ready for the amount of homeless folks he encountered. I start the story where he relates how a tragedy went down right next to him outside a famous Atlanta strip club.
Story number 95. Monday, December 28, 2020, 11:21 p.m.
And you mentioned, though, that you were near Magic City.
Oh yeah,
something happened, though.
yeah. I guess that's where a lot of the homeless do hang out at.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was like probably a drug deal going bad or something like that, but the guy just came out of nowhere, just shooting, shot the man in the chest, and he's just like laying on the ground, like everybody's trying to help, and it's just, I don't know, it's just like I never saw nothing like that. Somebody just to get shot right in front of you.
Okay, so I was gonna ask, so you actually saw it go down?
Yeah. So that actually, I actually went home for the rest of the day because I was just like, I was sad that that happened, and I was also shocked that it happened right in front of me. So
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I can hardly imagine the trauma of being next to someone who gets shot to death. And that doesn't even bring into the equation the man who died and the family that's out there probably missing him. Gun violence is a problem here in Atlanta, just like in so many American cities. And unfortunately, I personally anyways, don't think you can solve it through more laws. You might be able to make a tiny dent with stronger gun laws, but overall, it's up to us, as a people, to want to do and be better that will ultimately make the real difference. This next lady is on a really beautiful journey of learning to take back her agency and choose herself. Whether you're in a relationship or not, I think her spirit and wisdom are very much worth listening to.
Story number 96. Monday, December 28, 2020, 11:37 p.m.
So my story hopefully will touch a lot of women or anybody in particular.
Yeah.
It's about relationships.
Okay. Yeah.
And paying attention to your own growth.
Okay.
And compromise within a relationship and to keep that balanced. So my story, I have been with the same person for the past 13 years.
Wow, God bless you.
I was 22 when I met him, so do the math.
All right.
Some children came from this beautiful union, and I did everything that he wanted me to do, and the compromise for myself was not there as far as following my dreams and visions, etc. And this was all good because the package was beautiful, you know? There was an outside package. Inside it was beautiful as well, but in all of this, I was not saying yes to myself. And this can be dangerous for your confidence. This can be dangerous for, my femininity, for, etc., your masculinity, whatever it is that you need to, how you need that energy to be lifted.
Yes.
So my lesson and my story for everybody is speak your heart, mean it, activate that throat chakra, activate that heart chakra, have some confidence about who you are, to push forward and to live life. You know, in the union, outside of the union. I recently broke off my union.
Wow, okay.
And I'm okay with it, like 1,000%.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know that I'm going to be okay.
That's
and if
right.
you're going through the same thing, I promise you, you will be okay.
Yeah.
You know, life is beautiful.
Life is. Oh, thank you for saying that. Because obviously we're right at the precipice of 2021, but this year, 2020, that we're in right at the moment as we're recording this, has been a tough one for everybody.
Yeah.
But there's been gifts in there, and to remind ourselves of that, I think is huge. So I love your spirit.
Yes,
I love
thank
your attitude. That's amazing. So you're saying, and I think it's important for, obviously for men and women to hear, but usually it's the woman who will take the back seat. So it's, if you want to, take me in just a little bit to that moment as you start speaking up for yourself. Is that sort of what started bringing the relationship to an end, or what was it like to speak up, start to gain your own space and boundaries, and then what ultimately led to the demise of the relationship, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah. So what was it like? It was nerve-wracking. A lot of anxious energy was circulating. A lot of second guessing myself.
Sure.
So that was not easy. But the more I said no, the more I set boundaries for myself. Like, you have to keep doing it. It's a practice. It's not something that's going to blossom overnight.
For sure. And if I'm the guy in this relationship and you've never set boundaries with me, then you can't expect me all of a sudden to know.
I cannot.
Right. And so I love that you were, it sounds like you were patient in that process, which is huge. Yeah.
This was not an overnight thing. This started in August, this past August, with me speaking up for myself. But I tapped out and of the relationship and tapped into myself over a year ago. So it took that much patience.
That's huge.
You know, with myself. Nothing happens overnight.
No.
It can, but it won't be authentic, you know?
Very good.
So if you're the guy, have some patience with her or with him. Have some understanding. Put that ego down. You know, have some what we call compassion for what other people may be going through, for what we may have caused unknowingly. Right. You know, let people go. You know, we don't know where this relationship is going to take us. It might be the best decision I've ever made for us. Or in 6 months, I might be crawling back. Please take me back. I don't know. But don't be afraid of the unknown. Is pretty much it.
Yeah. And it sounds like you're, one of the things that I've tried to learn this year is to live more in the present.
Yes.
And it feels like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but that's something that you're practicing.
It is. It really, really is. I'm not worried about what happened 5 years ago.
Right.
I'm not so anxious about what might happen in 6 months, but right now I know that this feels good.
Yeah.
You know, I know that tomorrow will be easier than today was. That's what I know. So go for what you know in your heart. Because when we look forward, we get anxious. We look backwards, we get depressed.
That's right.
So we have to be present. We've all have had so much loss this year.
Yes.
But some of that loss has been a blessing. You know?
I agree. I know. It's so true. I literally wouldn't be in this car with you right now doing a podcast if I hadn't experienced some of the unbelievable loss that I've experienced this year. But
yes,
you are awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I love your spirit. I love what you're sharing today. I think it's important for people to hear.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Well, thank you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
And First of all, mad props to her for not dogging her former partner. That would have been the easy thing to do, but she owned up to her role in creating an environment where she just wasn't thriving. I also love her way of living in the present. That is an ongoing battle for many of us. And so I appreciate her joy and the grace she shows herself as she journeys through the present moment. This next young lady was telling me about some of her adventures while trying to find companionship during the pandemic. She told me that she was getting it on with a basketball player and had gotten pretty high and loose with him and then had gone to one of his games. Then she got bored, and that's where we'll pick up the story.
Story number 97. Tuesday, December 29th, 2020, 12:12 a.m.
But it's getting boring. Like, they're in there, they're playing. I'm like, okay, this is cool. It was fun for a while, but I'm just watching. I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm gonna take a walk.
Right.
So I'm taking this walk. Who's we? I'm taking this walk around the plaza, the same plaza you picked me up from.
Yes, ma'am.
And I see this man. I was like, y'all, when I tell you, this man was just this tall, light-skinned, Adonis, older, strong, muscular, just fine-looking man.
Yeah.
And he looking at me the same way I'm looking at him. Like, yeah, it just, bro, I don't know. I went over there. I was like, hi. He was like, hey. And, bro, just the way I was looking at him, like, my eyes was saying everything. Same, though, like, on his part. He was like, we're talking. He's like, what's your name? Like, what are you doing over here? And we're just whatever. Conversing. And then he's like, you looking at me like you want to do some things. Like, he just said something wild.
Wow, you just came out with it.
Came out with it.
Bravo.
Yeah, bravo for real. Because that's what was in my head. And I was like, interesting. Like, I don't like that. I just met you. Like, don't be reading me. That's not okay. Like,
right.
Involuntary telepathy is rude, sir. Seriously. But no.
That's quotable. Involuntary telepathy is rude, sir. that I want that to be in a t-shirt now.
You know what? We'll do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so here we go.
Here we go.
This is just the crazy part. Because, you know, you just popped it off, you know, like you said.
Right.
You just off the bat.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. No, I'm like, you look good. Like, he's like, yeah, same. You looking like you want to do something. I was like, I mean, what do you want to do? He was like, my car's over there. Yeah, we went in there.
In his car?
Yeah, in his car.
Okay.
And we were smoking. And we were talking.
Yeah.
And things were really cool. Like, things were good. And then things got spicy.
Oh.
Somebody dropped a jalapeno in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then things went down. Like,
this, by the way, so fantastic so far. You're at a basketball game. It's boring. You're walking around this parking lot, and an older, light-skinned Adonis dude and you lock eyes, and because it's this boring year, and you're just feeling like whatever, like, so far this is fantastic. Like, for everybody who's had a boring 2020, right? You're the cure.
Like, I'm just out here living, like, honestly, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting at this basketball tournament. All this estrogen, you know, it's all this fine, man.
Yeah.
And then the night before, like, mind you, that day I was drunk, you know, really loose. The night before, I had been with, you know, buddy I had been talking to, you know, things was, you know, popping off there.
Right.
Right. So I see this man, and he's on the same time. And I was just, this whole week, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It was a freak week.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like that's just how I had been feeling.
Yeah.
And this just was the cherry on top. And I was like, oh, what you got going on? Like, Miss Montclair, you need to puff the brakes. But okay, y'all, I'm gonna give it to you flat off the back. Like, we're in here smoking.
Right.
And this man, again, he's like, you looking like you wanna do something. He's like, I'm like, I mean, hey, like, I'm getting shy at this point, just a little bit, like, you know.
You're like, who, me?
I'm like, I mean, it's whatever you want to do, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
It's weird explaining it.
You're a woman.
I am a woman.
And this is what women do. Sometimes.
Like, trying to, dude, I don't even know.
Yeah.
This man just said it off the bat once again. He's like, okay, like, I'll pull it out.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
He pulled it out, or he asked you to pull?
No, like, he told me to pull it out.
Oh, he told you to pull him out. Wow.
I'm like, yeah, pull him out like that, yeah.
Okay,
like,
I love how this guy gets props for being, like, he's pretty direct. He doesn't push you, but he is direct.
Scorpio things, you know.
Yeah.
Pisces over here, so you know, we're pretty compatible.
Yeah.
That shit, I don't know, y'all.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but it's not like I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? Popped it off. You gonna say, you know, it was a little, you know, a little sloppy.
Yeah, a little sloppy.
A little sloppy in the car.
I get it.
Just a little sloppy in the car.
So is the favor returned?
Not in the car.
Okay.
Not in the car. No, not at that date. Later, because we was gonna smoke one, and I was like, you know what, I have to go.
I got you.
Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
So do you think you actually may end up meeting this gentleman again and taking
That's who you just picked me up from.
No, I know, but do you think you'll end up meeting? Wait. So tonight was not the night. Wait.
No, that's not when we met. I'm telling you the story.
This is the prequel. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm still now I'm still in. Okay.
Exactly. So we hung out again after that.
Yeah.
Like at his gym. And
Nice.
then, yeah, you know, everything happened, and, you know, it was returning all this and this and that. But he's significantly older than me.
Yeah.
Like, he's fine, but, you know, it got to a point I was like, you know, I just wasn't returning his messages or whatever. So one day he was like, you know, you want to come to the gym? And I was like, no, like, I'm good. Or no, I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I didn't even respond. But he was like, will you help me clean and I'll pay you?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, like, I was like, okay, like, whatever, you talking money, like, sure.
Yeah.
Why I go to the gym, we sit there watching TV. He trying to get freaky with me. I was like, I came here to make money.
Yeah.
He was like, you gonna make some money? I was like, how? What the fuck? He was like, I mean, like, you know, you wanna do it anyway? So, yeah. It popped off like that.
Like
wow,
that.
it was right.
Was it great? Was it good?
It was good. It was always good.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
got to a point I was like, I was kind of turned off. I was kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
like,
He's
whatever.
older, all that stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, it was good. It was really good.
So if it wasn't for the fact that he was older, like, you would have maybe dated this guy.
Maybe.
But for now, it's like a crazy story that you can tuck away for backseat confessions type of moments.
It's
And I'll
not
tell you,
even
when
over.
it's not over?
It's not even over. Yeah.
Oh.
Because that night, like, he paid me.
Okay.
And that's what we did. Like, that's what he was paying me for. And we talked about, like, how crazy it is. I was like, that's such a weird, like, that's weird. Like,
Yeah.
but shit, like, you know, I was going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. Was I, y'all? Because I was not going to pull up if he didn't say nothing about cleaning.
Right.
But then we got there, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he tried to pop off some shit. And he's like, I'll pay you for it. And I'm like, shit. Mind y'all, I have been unemployed all 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Rona,
Yeah.
I miss in the brokey list. So it's like, I'm like, shit. So, once a week since then, he'll hit me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Once a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's so cool.
Ah. So you like him. You're getting to make a little
It's
money.
like a sugar daddy situation.
Like a sugar daddy situation.
For sure.
Yeah. But you liked him enough before there was any money involved where you were like, you were attracted to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, physically, if anything.
Right. I get it. Yeah.
I'm learning him more. And it's like on a superficial level. It's
Right.
interesting.
So like when it ends, you don't foresee yourself being like heartbroken. It's just
hell
gonna be
no.
It's gonna be a fling, something that happened, little sugar daddy situation, and you're gonna bounce.
Yeah. Not even on no malicious shit because I
Right.
have mad love for him.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
No, seriously, he's such a good person. He's so cool. But if anything were to like go left and he were to completely like fuck me over, yeah, let it be said on the record. Yeah. I don't give a fuck because I really appreciate you putting money in my pockets when it was hard to get money in my pockets at the end of the day.
Well, and I will say, when you came down the little ramp, you were bouncing, and I could tell you definitely you were feling good.
Look glow.
But there was definitely a glow, and I had this feeling was like, this is not all pot or liquor or something like this. This is like a little extra glow. So there you go.
I'm dead.
Well, hey, I know that you were like a little hesitant to share, but thank you so much for sharing.
No problem. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. This is the perfect story for this space. And I wish you absolutely nothing but the best. And I hope that 2021 treats you much better than 2020 has.
Thank you so much. You as well.
All right. Thanks. There are a lot of things happening in this story, and people will feel different ways about it, but it is real and honest. You get the sense that she is feeling a bit lonely and wanting to connect, and ends up having a moment with a handsome stranger that then turns into something of an arrangement. And I come from a conservative background. And my old self would probably just say, well, now she's prostituting herself out. But if you really listen, it's so much more complex than that. And on another note, I don't get into my political views, partly because I'm always open to change, and also this is not the show for that. But ultimately, I'm someone who believes in freedom. Period. I struggle to see how it is anybody's business, least of all the government, on how a fully cognizant adult decides to make money or with whom they choose to have sex. Just my opinion. Our final writer for the night continues on this apparent theme of relationship issues. Dealing with the breakup of a long-term relationship is no fun. But this guy is doing it like a champ.
Story number 98. Tuesday, December 29th, 2020, 3:20 a.m.
Tonight, I ended a 7-year relationship with my partner. Wow. And I probably feel the happiest I have felt in a long time. Wow. Feel lovely. It's a very delicious feeling, if I do say so myself.
Okay.
But long story short, Mondays are our date night, or were our date nights, and we were supposed to hang out. And of course, like I said, most people, you say date night, oh, I gotta go do that. No, it's literally a McDonald's run in movies, or whatever we're feeling at the moment. But text messages were exchanged, communication were exchanged, no comment, no response. I happened to go bar hopping with friends, and I, lo and behold, see my ex literally tongue-tied with someone else at a bar. I know, cliche, but I do the polite walk up. Hey, how are you? Wonderful. Looks good to see you. You look good. Like this outfit. Love the jacket. Whoa. You would have thought that I was talking to Casper the Friendly Ghost. All I saw was, and I'm just like, well, listen, enjoy. Yeah. I'm going to go have some drinks. We're going to bar hop. And, if you are feeling up to it, we'll talk later. Yeah. And all of a sudden, I get the barrage of text messages, the barrage of phone calls. And like most people, my phone, I have an iPhone, so it's set to go to Do Not Disturb at midnight. And it's set to kick in at 12 a.m. and set to kick off at 12 p.m. As a bartender, sleep is amazing to me. So any moment I get that is awesome. And so, of course, with my phone being in Do Not Disturb, I don't get any text messages. I have 3 whiskey sours, and I look down at my phone. I have 36 missed calls, 46 text messages, 15 voicemails, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, now you want to talk. Well, this is lovely, but like most people, and like I've always said, a drunk mind tells a sober truth. Right. I can't have this conversation with you right now. It's going to be really, really explicit and illicit, and I'm probably going to get kicked out of this bar because I'm going to create some words that would make the Virgin Mary blush. But but no, I decided in that moment that 7 years of dealing with the same foolishness and folly, I owe myself better. And what better way to end 2020 with the craziness and menagerie that 2020 has been than to end it single. So ta-da. Wow. I am like newborn baby fresh. I smell like baby powder and Bath and Body Works. So I feel great. I'm disappointed. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I'm not sad. Most people go through I just can't. No, I'm not that guy. Yeah. I am extremely excited. I'm extremely happy about what 2021 is going to bring. I am going to take the traditional sabbatical and not date. I'm not going to put myself out there. I don't want anyone to be a rebound. I've been a rebound. I know how that feels, and it's a trash feeling, and I don't want to be that guy. Right. But no, I feel great. There's of course nothing that Jameson and sour splash pineapple can't help. So I feel great. My ex, on the other hand, is trying to figure out what's going on. He's trying to figure out like what bag am I coming out of, and I'm like,
so you haven't had the really like the heart to heart. I mean, he obviously knows that you're done and all that. But he doesn't know yet. Like you guys haven't spoken heart to heart.
No. Like.
So do you? And there's no way to know this, but just a question. Right now, I love your attitude, bro. Is like it's awesome, and may we all bounce back from setbacks like this. But is there a little bit of like, okay, you've got a little bit of liquid courage in you tonight, and
I think that's what it is.
Okay, because I'm just wondering if like tomorrow the train's gonna hit you.
Oh, tomorrow is gonna be a whole train wreck. I'm gonna be at work like.
Okay.
But in that moment, I'm literally working off of adrenaline.
Yes. Okay.
It's literally drinks, shots, and adrenaline, which is probably the worst combination to break up with someone over. But in that moment, it's just it is what it is. I don't have any ill will. I will say that.
Which I am so freaking proud of you for that.
Yeah, I don't have any ill will. There's no hard feelings. There's no hatred. I'm an adult. I'm a whole big boy. The whole hatred and bitterness.
Thank you.
It's cliche. Yep. And I will have now. Don't get me wrong. I will have my moments of sheer unadulterated anger.
Right.
But. Yep. That's what you're supposed to go through when you deal with a breakup, especially a sudden breakup.
Well, and especially
7 years. Right, this isn't like 6 months or 2 weeks or 24 hours or some random hookup behind the liquor store. Like, this is 7 years that I've invested in you.
That's painful.
What I will say is I'm glad I was able to get the deposit back on the rings, because listen, I'd have been real mad.
Wait. How close were you to marriage?
It was going to be March 2021.
Wait, are you freaking kidding me?
Kid you not. March 2021.
Dude.
It was going to be the whole, listen, so we've been through this thing called life, you know. Yeah. But I'm really glad that I did not.
So had you proposed yet, or you were
No, not yet. I had so I custom made our rings, and it was literally our fingerprints in the ring. But they had been ordered, but I still had that grace period to cancel if I needed to. Okay. And literally we broke up, I hit cancel, and I slammed shots. It was awesome. Right. It was awesome.
Well, if it had to go down, if he's not the right guy, then thank God it ended when it did.
Yes.
Get your money back in your rings.
Yeah, because listen, during COVID, tungsten is in a very expensive metal.
Is it really?
Oh my God, tungsten. Our rings were literally almost $3,100.
Whoa.
It's because I was having them shipped, and then of course I'd had them customized. So I am just really excited. I was able to get all $3,100 back, and now I'm able to, potentially, maybe, possibly, if COVID releases her deathly grips on the world, I'll be able to travel. So great. For me, everything is great. Like I said, I definitely feel like maybe in the next 24 to 48 hours, I'll have that moment where, I cry myself into a stupor. I eat a truckload of ice cream, and I just don't give a damn about anything or anyone anymore. But right now, in this current moment, like in this present moment, I feel vindicated.
And I was going to ask you on that, like, there's got to be, like, this can't have just come out of nowhere. No. Like, first issue we've ever had, everything was going hunky-dory, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
We had our moments. I mean, like, no relationship is absolutely perfect unless you're a fictional character on Twilight or something, but no, we definitely had our moments where we didn't like certain things about one another, but that's any relationship. Normal. That's normal.
But I'm saying, was it beyond that though? Did you have a sense of, like...
I did have a sense, but it was one of those things where, for me, like, I want to have all my ducks in a row before I just accuse you of, like, blatantly cheating. Like, I don't want to be like, so I saw you walk into Target at 8:45 and I don't know why, versus you were holding hands with this guy and y'all were all over each other in the men's department at Target. Like, what's going on here? It wasn't, I definitely had those red flags, but it was one of those things where when I saw those red flags, I spoke on them. I didn't want it to fester. And of course, I got the, no, I assure you, I promise you, I wouldn't do that to you. I'm not that kind of guy, blah, blah, blah. Sure. The same things we hear all the time, both men and women. And I was just like, all right, cool. I'm going to let you have it. Yeah. But what I've also realized is I give you just enough rope to hang yourself.
Yeah.
And, my ex literally didn't even make it off the gallows before the rope was gingerly tightened around his neck. And like I said, I don't have, it is what it is. I've come to that realization, and a lot of people come to those different realizations at different moments. But and for me, I think after I chugged my third whiskey sour, I was like, all right, cool, this is what it's gonna be. I'm good. Because if you don't respect me enough to at least tell me, like, I don't think this is gonna work, let's take a break, let's
something,
whatever, listen, carrier pigeon, message in a bottle, 2 cans and a string, something. But just the fact that you did it and did it the way that you did, it was almost like it was intentional and you wanted this to happen and you were just waiting on me to respond. But I think what threw him off was I was very much, oh, okay, cool. All right, well, listen, 10 points for you. I am glad you found happiness. I'm gonna find happiness with these drinks and these shots and in this moment. And my motto has always been be best, be blessed, and be encouraged. That's all I can give you right now, because I just don't have it in me to argue. I don't have it in me to fight. I don't have it in me to do any of those things. And if that's what you want to do, by all means, I'm not going to keep you from your level of happiness. Just know that in that moment when that happens, like, I step back. We're not here anymore.
The
good thing is all of his things will will probably be packed up tomorrow.
Yeah.
And, like I told him, I said it's probably safe if he doesn't come back to the house tonight, but he needs to make arrangements.
Yep.
I was very polite. I think this was probably one of the nicest breakups I've ever experienced. Because the old me would have just been like, well, everything's on the everything's on the patio and it's 3 stories up, so I don't know how you're gonna get there because I'm not going home tonight.
Right.
But I think for me, like, I just revel in the fact that I was extremely nice about this, and I think that's what scares him the most.
I was just gonna say, there's something about when someone is just calm and kind after.
It's like a hurricane.
Oh, dude,
it's like a hurricane.
It's more terrifying than a crazy person. So much to learn and say here, but again, just mad props to him for holding it all together and handling himself like a mensch. The strength and willpower to stay calm in the face of that kind of devastation and not let himself be completely overrun by emotions is pretty remarkable. And I'm betting on him. I believe that after taking some time to grieve, he's going to be just fine. Here we are again, getting ready to park the car after another night of some pretty intimate looks into these amazing riders. Tonight was mostly talking about how they were making their way through the ups and downs of relationships. In this last story, and in the one where the lady separated herself from her longtime partner to explore herself more deeply, I find inspiration that while we all long for love and connection, we can't sacrifice the deepest places of ourselves to be something we were never supposed to be. So, that's my challenge to us this week. May you never give up on finding and keeping love from someone special, but even more importantly, please don't give up on really loving yourself. It's a funny thing, but I've found that the more I'm at peace with and love myself, the more love I have to give my wife and family and all those around me that I care about. This is what happens when you are a rideshare driver in Atlanta and ask people for their stories. These weren't handpicked people with great stories. They just happened to get in my car and be gracious enough to share with all of us. And who knows, maybe someday you'll be in Atlanta and need to grab a rideshare and end up telling the rest of us the next great story on BCP. I'd actually encourage you to, every so often, just ask a stranger to share a story from their life. You never know what you might learn. I believe that our stories are powerful. They can make you laugh, cringe, cry, or even get you to think or feel differently. Our stories can truly make this world a little bit better place. So please, subscribe, rate, and listen to this podcast and share it with as many adults as possible. It would mean so much to me. First and foremost, I want to thank the incredible writers who trusted me with your stories. You're my heroes. Thanks also to all the people in the background who have believed in this project/dream. All of the music on this podcast was found on pixabay.com, and it was free, which is an amazing gift when you're starting a podcast on a shoestring budget.